it's really insane to me that I would ever say this, but I think in the current meta, the first anniversary unit, Goddess Liz, is better than her third year anniversary counterpart, Light Element Bloody Liz. I know, absolute ludicrousy to even think that that would be the case, but it really is. It was, a fact when Light Liz came out that everyone felt that she was kind of underwhelming. She just didn't do much other than buff basic stats for allies, which is cool for increasing your stats for, I guess, Super Boss and that kind of thing. But in PvP, right now, having a revive is 10 times what Light Liz provides. And it gets even more insane to think that also, right? This unit's stats are terrible, right? I mean, it's a given, she's an old character. The shield is so insane. Legitimately, the Goddess Liz shield is nuts. It's so good. Like right here, it's so hard for the enemy to break my shield. So hard. Only because what the Goddess Liz shield does, it's kind of ahead of its time, which is so shit that I have to say this. It blocks card effects, and card effects are everything. Everything, right? Like all of your damage comes from card effects, essentially. I can't shield this time, but it's okay. All your damage comes from card effects, like right here. There is nothing the enemy can do. Well, if I had Light Liz, he could have killed my ult in this turn. Unlikely, because I'm using HP defense, so I'm quite a bit tanky. So, unlikely, but could, right? Could. But no, I'm just gonna... Even if he kills me with a melee single target, like a level... If he wiped out like a level 2 Askiner Finger, right after like a melee single target, he still wouldn't have had the chance to kill me because of the revive. It's just kind of nuts in the current meta. Stun is also pretty good, although not insane or anything. I think stun is great, but what really takes the cake, I think, is the shield. The shield is just nuts. You get so much value out of just like not allowing the enemy to have the card effects, especially against ults. We've seen in the previous like Goddess Liz video I did like a few weeks ago, like 6-6 Ascanor or 5-6 Ascanor, something, barely broke a Liz shield. Barely broke it because it just completely ignores the effect of the ultimate. It's again kind of ahead of its time. I mean, even during the time, it was really great. Annoying. Obscenely annoying. Super strong, right? That's how the shield always was. And I think over time, with the fact that every single character now has card effects, over having a higher multiplier, it just became stronger and stronger. The one thing though that Light Liz has leagues above this Liz, that I have to admit obviously, is the stats. The stats for this Liz are horrible, right? She came out in the first anniversary. Honestly, the Holy Relic would be something I would hold against her, except for the fact that the shield increasing its potential is actually great right now. When it first came out, I thought it was pretty weak. It didn't really improve the unit enough to make her viable for that meta. But in the current meta, the stronger shield does in fact make a big difference. I don't know. I mean, that probably still wouldn't have broken it. It would have been like really like low. But there are many moments, many situations where that just the little bit extra shield ends up saving you. Especially when you're facing like a melee with an attack buff and stuff like that. It can be incredibly huge. Being like, okay, someone has a melee with the 50% attack release that buff, so they attack first with Estarossa to break the shield, right? Estarossa level 1 or whatever. So you can break the shield, then go with the melee attack, when the shield is already gone, so they don't have to deal with the effect not working. a lot of the times they just don't break the shield. By a little bit. The shield ends up with like minuscule health. And that little bit of health ends up being the difference between you winning and losing so many times. I've seen it happen just from using her a little bit. So I think my arguments are pretty clear. But all of this can easily change if they give Liz, like Liz, a good holy relic. Doesn't have to be now. They can even, if they want, wait for the anniversary again, right? But if they are to give Liz a tremendous holy relic, it would obviously shift things around heavily. Because as it is, Goddess Liz is done, right? There is no more cap. They don't buff units. Unless they go back and you know, start buffing units, I can't say that like they're ever gonna make Light Liz actually better than she currently is. She is stuck, right? I said, did I say Light Liz or Goddess? I mean Goddess Liz. You know what I mean. She already has her relic. There's no more improvement. They're not gonna improve her stats. I don't think ever, right? I don't have any faith on them. so that's that, right? And Light Liz, on the other hand, she doesn't have her relic yet, and just that fact alone can be a big deal. Now, you gotta remember, right? A lot of holy relics are bad. A lot of them. Recently, we just got Mono's holy relic. I've been waiting for Mono to get a relic for a while now. You guys might know. I've been begging for that Mono to get a good holy relic because she had so much potential. And guess what? Her relic sucks, right? I mean, it might be good with an upcoming catastrophe. Doesn't matter. You get what I mean. So many of the relics are mid or bad that it's really hard to like anticipate a relic to be even good these days at all. But if that ends up being the case, then Light Liz will obviously be on top. She is a character with much better stats. And again, the potential of an actual holy relic. So I'm actually cheering for that, because she was the anniversary character. And seeing her honestly kind of fall off so hard is kind of sad. I know there's always like Light Liz defenders saying, oh actually, Light is a great unit. She doesn't need a holy relic because she's so good at making points on Guild Boss. Yeah. Guild Boss, the best game mode in the game. So, if you really love Guild Boss, then you might be saying she doesn't need a holy relic and they should wait longer. But, hey, I'm not a Guild Boss enjoyer, if you will. I'm more of a, I only really like PvP. Most of the PvE stuff I find to be pretty boring. Except Final Boss, I really like Final Boss. And Labyrinth, I really like Labyrinth. I like Tower, whenever they bring those Tower stages. What I'm saying is, I like every PvE activity, except Guild Boss. So maybe that's on me. I don't know. I like all of them. All PvE activities are good, except Guild Boss. So, hey, maybe that's a me issue, right? But I think a lot of people agree with that. Oh, finally. I swapped my ultra attack crit. I realized I have the revive. There's no point in me being like a little bitch and using HP defense. You know? What am I using the revive for? If not for for me to just, you know, go balls in. Balls on the table and be like, yep, you cannot kill me. Yep. Alright, let's attack first. Let's just buff first. Yep. That gets me to my ultimate. And we're gonna have pretty crazy damage reduction and the shield. So it's gonna be pretty difficult for them to break this shield and then take off ultimate gauge with the end. Pretty difficult. I wonder if the shield blocks the damage increase from the end as well. I am not sure. Yep. Not even like can't do anything. Like they can't even do anything. I wish Liz like Liz. Got her passive earlier. You know, I feel like she takes too long. Like, only now she has her passive. If she had her passive earlier, she could have been helpful, you know? Instead, she didn't really contribute much. Okay, last one. I think I've said enough. Ooh, a Nanashi enjoyer. Okay, Nanashis can be complicated. Going straight for Liz, which is the good. Again, the fact that she has terrible stats means that she is always the one to go first when you see one. Okay, then double attack her should not get disabled. Okay, Margaret. Sure. I see what you got up there. We're just gonna do some like this. Won't get my ult gauge lowered or anything. Boom. Then we'll just simply... I mean, there's nothing you can do. Even if he somehow breaks the shield, which he will, because Margaret is really great at breaking the shield. And then kills my ult twice. That is just... Okay, he killed Liz. That was a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. But we're all good. We're all sitting here and happy. Let's level true buff. That was a little scary. Ah, Liz's stats. I actually want to go back and run her with core resistance again instead of defense. I should have done that from the get-go. It's just really like, damn. Old characters just really have like a gap in stats from new characters, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you see how my owl like sliced Liz. Like, he got every crit on that AoE. Where he wouldn't, like a newer character. It's crazy.